God. Hey, Chris.
What?
When are we starting our YouTube channel?
Are we starting a YouTube channel?
Yeah, we're gonna do. You're gonna do classic TBC content. You'll do it from a healer perspective, and I'll do it from a DPS perspective.
You realize that, like, by the time we get to level 70, everyone's gonna be done with TBC Classic?
What do you mean?
Like, there's no way I'm playing week 1 because there's gonna be 4 billion people all trying to do the same quest.
Yeah, but you just do dungeons.
You refuse to do dungeons. You hate dungeons. They're too convenient.
Yeah, but I love TBC dungeons.
How do you even get a dungeon group?
What do you mean? We have, like, 2 of the best DPS classes.
Oh, wow. 2 DPS trying to get into a group. That's gonna be great.
Well, you can heal. I feel like the video stops weird on this. Okay, anyway, we're using this stream to test video and really more lighting settings. We're doing a later stream to test the lighting here. Both with and without extra lights. So let's do this. That's not good. Does it need
Did
this?
we already gain our level for
There we
today?
go. No, remember we're doing 2 levels at a time during my vacation.
No, we're definitely not doing that.
Well, how are we supposed to get to max level in time then?
Well, what if we waited until it was way easier, like next week?
If we were gonna do that, then we would have not been leveling at all, since both of us already knew that there was an XP change coming, right?
Yeah, but we had no idea when the pre-patch was going to be, if we were going to have like 1 week to do it, or like 2 weeks, or what. Like, now that we know.
Well, but if we wait, then we won't have time to level up our blood elves, you know?
You know we're not leveling Blood Elves.
What do you mean?
Now what?
I may not even finish leveling this character.
Well, you might as well finish at this point.
Yeah, I'll just wait until it's way easier.
I should probably have my Voidwalker for this, but I already summoned this guy, so... How's the lighting? I mean, it looks okay from my perspective.
I have mail. Oh, I auctioned some stuff.
You doing auctions without me?
Yeah, I auctioned a Heart of Fire for 2 gold 50. It must have sold.
I had to buy a Fellcloth because you refused to get me one.
Yeah, you never want to fight demons. You're always like, let's not do that quest. Let's not do that quest. We're not going to do that quest. Does that sound familiar? Because it's all I ever hear.
I got a thing for demons, you know. That's why I picked a Warlock. They're my homies. I can't kill them.
We'll just pull some Fellcloth out of your ass.
Well, where else would you get it?
What's this? Oh, the quest marker is from killing the guy.
I think we have to kill him twice.
How many times?
Twice. Oh god, I fell. Can you get up to where the goblin statue thing is? I mean, the camera's working. I feel like we have a solution for the camera. The battery seems pretty good on it, to be honest. I was worried about the battery. But I think realistically we could do like 8 hours straight of this. Which is probably a lot. I don't expect to do that. Unless I'm just like screwing around. In Classic.
Oh my god, I'm so close. I'm gonna say no. Oh wait, no, yeah, I'm here. I'm on it. Boom.
Use your priest pole to get me up there.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're in the wrong expansion.
You probably don't even have that spell. I can't even get up to Mini Island. Oh, it definitely looks like there's a
You have
lot
to do
of
it
light
from the
coming from my
backside. You can't do it
screen.
from the front. That's what she said.
I mean, once we came up this backside, it was a lot easier. I don't see how you even failed that. I just literally walked up it.
Yeah, I was trying different things.
Also, it's kind of weird that she's saying that to you. It's like she doesn't want to look at you. What is this respawn? Did I tell you I suspect we're going to have to kill this guy twice?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I expect we're going to have to kill him twice. The lighting really looks like... I need something that's like dark. That's still kind of light. I mean, it is the dark mode on the camera, so... It makes sense that it would be good. You serious right now? I've probably done that, honestly. I don't see how it would know.
Apparently he's a rare spawn, so you can wait for a long time and him not appear.
Are you serious? Jesus. I don't recall him being a rare spawn.
I don't know, a lot of people saying they waited around for like 20, 30 minutes and didn't get him, and a lot of people saying like it was a rare spawn, and you know they only managed to get him at like 5 a.m.
See, if you didn't fail this the first time, then we could have already been done it at this point. And then we're gonna have to kill him twice. Also, why is my nickname not saved? What the hell? I just noticed my details nickname is, No, my nickname still shows up. What? I'm confused. It's showing my full name. I don't know why. Maybe because we haven't done any damage yet. Still, you would think it would realize that that's me.
Milk Rash was adjusted down from a 9-hour spawn to approximately 2-hour spawn in 1.4.
So, are you just gonna hang out there, or?
Are we in 1.4?
Well, we're definitely past 1.4. It's 1.12.
1.12 is less than 1.40.
Story checks out. Maybe we'll get lucky though and get him within the next 2 hours. Oh man, there's a guild for us to join. Oh, why didn't I mount yet? Oh, Jesus. See that guild? We should join it.
The Hot Dad Squad?
Yeah. Haven't we seen this rigor mortis guy before?
Probably.
I feel like I recognize him. Why is everyone playing Warlock?
Huh, it's a weird thing. Like, why would everybody be playing Warlock?
Don't they know Warlocks are bad in Classic WoW?
Yeah, it's almost like Classic WoW's over and nobody cares what's good in Classic WoW.
But I thought you said we were gonna stick to Classic. Remember?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're Classic players. We're going to once everybody leaves Classic to play TBC, we're going to start raiding the Molten Core.
I feel like we should start with Nax. Why is there a half-berry bottle here? That seems stupid.
It's all over the beach.
Yeah, but like, shouldn't it be on the other side?
I mean, physics, they could land anywhere.
You wish to sleep?
Remember when you dropped this quest?
Yeah, I tried to get you not to, but you made me.
Don't we have to kill these gorillas until the guy spawns? Oh, he's up. Hey, it's the guy from Hearthstone. I feel like we should have maybe cleared the area first.
Oh, come on, this is easy. It's a 51.
You good, homie? Run away. Fearing him? My pet died.
That's weird. Like, I had aggro the whole time.
Yeah, trampled, dude. If only I had a healer.
When I had a mage.
Did you equip your new wand?
Yeah.
How may I aid you?
Wow, we did it. Now where are we going?
Felwood?
I guess. I couldn't find the inn in Orgrimmar.
It's 2 doors down from the auction house.
Well, like I knew where it was, but then I went into the building and there was a bunch of people standing there, so I couldn't find the innkeeper.
Yeah, I had that problem.
I was like, wait, is this even the right building?
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I suppose I can show, I've been messing with a few scenes as well. I should show those.
Blood and thunder.
It's actually probably the best way to get a sense of the lighting. So I mean, there's this one obviously, and again, just keep in mind that my room is a disaster
So is this
right now.
Felwood slime thing going to be the same thing? We need like 20 of them, hopefully.
Yeah. You said you only needed 7 though, so you should get 7 and then I'll get 20. Yeah, I mean the lighting looks fine, doesn't it? It's hard for me to tell because the preview screen is pretty dark. But then the actual preview in OBS is really good. And then I've got 2 different ones. So we've got this one, which is the studio mode with a mini camera for me. And then we've also got a React one, which is basically the opposite. for doing React content. I think if we're doing like live React content, we would use this. I don't know, actually. We should probably be bigger. We should probably be in this one. And this is like a... Yeah. But this is the obvious, like, we're watching a show. I don't know how good of an idea. It's so hard to do.
I guess we just head
K-drama
north,
reacts.
killing things with claws until we get to the Blood Ambers. And I guess oozes.
Well, we can definitely do the Deadwood thing in the north too, with the Furbolgs.
Yeah.
It's hard
All this up
to
in the
do K-drama react stuff,
Other than the oozes.
mainly because the drama kind of has to be good, but also you need a drama that everyone's watching. So you need something like Signal 2. Like Signal 2, when that comes out, is going to be an excellent React series, for sure. What else? Secret Forest 3. Secret Forest 2 would have been such bad React content, though, because like nothing happens for 8 episodes. I've talked about this. As good as Secret Forest 2 is, I think it would make bad React content because the first 8 episodes of season 2 is like literally all just political build-up. And you contrast it with season 1. Season 1, you had that murder investigation throughout the entire thing, and that was like a sort of
I like how they
action-y thing.
announced their return to WoW, and then Akisha's like, maybe at the end of the month, which is like 3 weeks away.
What happened?
Kate made that post about how they're returning to WoW to ramp up for 9.1. And then Akisha's like, yeah, at the end of the month, which is like over 3 weeks away.
And that might not even happen now because he's going to be playing Classic. Yeah, we also play retail on the side, by the way. Actually, I mean, we play this on the side, and we mainly play retail.
I don't understand
I'm
why they
distracted.
did the pre-patch so close to the release. Like, they know everybody wants to level Blood Elves and Draenei. They're just, like, making it a real pain in the ass for everyone. And it's not like you can, like, force people into buying boosts because you can't boost those. So why not give people more time?
I mean, how do you know when the 7.1, when the 9.1 releases? Let me go back to
What
this.
is, I'm talking about the classic TBC pre-patch.
Oh, the 2-week thing? Yeah, I mean, everyone said that was dumb. Oh, did you pick up Wild Guardians?
From where?
From up here.
I don't see any quests.
You have it.
I have it, yeah. Easy. There's an ooze over here. There's a couple of them.
That's good because I need to get a shard. What was I saying? Let me talk about Forest Secrets 1, right? Forest Secrets 1, I'm just gonna cast this, had that murder at the very beginning, and it was a staple action storyline throughout the entire season. And you don't really have that with season 2. It's really, I mean, there's a murder, but they're really not investigating the murder. No one's investigating that murder until it comes back in the second half of the season to be connected to the thing that happens. I don't want to spoil what happens. Not that anyone's going to be watching my random stream where I'm just discussing, I'm testing video settings, but there was a lot less action, I think it's fair to say, in in season 2. And not to say that there was no tension or anything in season 2, because there was a ton of tension. One thing you can say about Force of Secrets is they know, the writer knows, and the director knows how to build tension throughout. And it's not an action-y type of tension like what you have. Not that Force of Secrets Season 1 had a lot of action, but it was a different type of intrigue versus what you get in Season 2, which is very much a political maneuvering type of thing. And it's very different, and I think for people who... I'm interested in those types of dramas. Like, those are... Like, I'm a... In my time at Drama Beans Reflects This, I'm a, like, revenge... not really melodrama, but, like, revenge thriller type of person. And that's, like, 100% my bread and butter. And it's like, the thing that got me thinking about this was like, Secret Forest is immensely popular, and everyone was watching Season 2 because of all the acclaim that Season 1 got. Because Season 1 was amazing. And I feel like people who were just getting into Force of Secrets, like, there's no way that you would hold their attention. If there's someone who didn't watch Season 1 and didn't really know what they were getting themselves into with that writer, they would be, like, lost as to why anyone was watching this show. Because for 8 episodes, like, literally nothing happens. It's all building a foundation for what's going to happen in the end, and the people who watched Force of Secrets 1 were going to have the patience to sit through that. If this was just a random, like, let's say it wasn't called Force of Secrets 2, it was just another drama, like, no one would have finished watching this show. They would have quit watching it by the 8th episode because nothing happens. And this is the point that I try to make. Even though Force of Secrets 2 won our our Drama of the Year last year, I think it was not as I don't want to say it was not as good. It was definitely still extremely good, but I think it was it wasn't as well paced as Season 1. I think Season 1 was excellent pacing throughout. It was a slow burn still, but there was stuff happening throughout. And I think you can't say that about Season 2. I think it was still a slow burn, and a lot of the stuff that they did in the first 8 episodes eventually pays off, but you really have to have a ton of trust in that, in the writer to pull that off. For it to actually be successful, and for you to keep your viewership throughout it. Because if they don't have that trust, they're leaving, right? So I think it's interesting. And I think it would make bad React content. That's where this whole point came from, right? Was thinking about React content. If we did K-drama reacts, Forest of Secrets Season 2 would be a disaster, I think, because the first 8 episodes is just the slowest possible burn. I shouldn't say nothing happens, because a bunch of stuff happens, but it's stuff that it's not going to have any payoff for 8 episodes, or 16 episodes even. I should really be here. That stuff's all gonna get sold. Yeah, but something like Signal. So there's two criteria. You need a show that's interesting, and you need, so that kind of almost in a way disqualifies a lot of the fluffier like rom-com type of stuff. Like, I can't imagine watching, say,
should we like move on and
Jealousy Incarnate or
explore
something
this later?
like a rom-com, and trying to do React content to that, because it's such a weird. It's weird to do rom-com stuff. You kind of have to do like those really meaty thriller type of shows. Like when I think of the popular English stuff, it's like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. It's reactions to popular but meaty shows. And that was the second criteria. So it needs to be something that's interesting, and it needs to be something that's popular. And it's got to be popular to the audience that we're looking to get. So, like, a good example of what I mean by this, when I first started at Drama Beans, the first show that I recapped was Woman of Dignity.
It says the Silvery Claws have a 18% drop rate.
Excellent. So yeah, we started with Woman of Dignity. And we actually, there was, I think, 4 of us working on that show. We, halfway, I think it was exactly halfway through. I think
And
it was,
it's lower on the Anger Claw Grizzlies, which is the high level bear. It's like 9% from them.
we stopped recapping at 10 episodes, I think halfway through. And it was because no one was reading them. Like, we were getting like 6 comments.
It looks like the low level bears and wolves are like 2% higher than the mid level ones.
So we basically didn't have any viewership. And it's not that the show had no viewership. It was that there was a lot of reasons for this, but it was that the show had low foreign viewership. Because if you actually look at the ratings, that was one of the most popular shows, and I think actually broke ratings records at the time for JTBC. It was literally getting everyone to watch it. But for a variety of reasons, including that it was very difficult to get subbed content. I think the only site that was subbing it in English was On Demand Korea, which is crazy to think about. So yeah, there was no viewership, and if you don't have anyone that's actually watching the show, then how can you do React content to it? You can do React content to like K-pop music videos from popular K-pop groups, because you'll actually get viewers to it. If you try to, if you're reacting to like a Twice video or a Blackpink video versus reacting to some random like C-tier band that no one actually listens to or follows, you're gonna get a different level of viewership, because ultimately the people are going to be interested in your content if you're doing content that matches up with their interests, and you're much more likely to have that with larger, more popular groups. That's just the nature of the beast. And yeah, so I'm not sure. The other thing you have to do with K-drama content is it has to be current. I mean, it doesn't have to be current, but like, if I'm trying to react to, say, let's use Signal, because we were talking about it earlier. If I'm trying to react to Signal now, like, who's gonna watch that? That show's been out for forever at this point. As much as it's an amazing show, and there's definitely some great React content to be mined from that, if you were doing it at the time, just from some of the reveals and things that happen in that show. At this point, no one's going to watch it because it's old. No one reacts. I mean, people do react to Breaking Bad still. But you don't see people reacting to older content. Try Not to Die. Hello?
What?
Try Not to Die.
I'm not gonna sit here actually playing the game. If I die, then I die.
I haven't got a single claw. You're
That's
lying about
because-
these drop rates.
I mean, I have not seen a single drop rate in this game that's actually what it says on the WoW Classic thing.
I mean, if anything, the drop rates should actually be higher than what they say, because theoretically, you're seeing the drop rate versus the number of the number of drops versus the number of times people killed the mob. But if people aren't killing the mob while they have the quest, then it's going to increase the one number while not having a possibility to increase the other.
Yeah, they probably tried to factor for that, and that's why their numbers are so bad. It's probably more like 5%.
I bet they don't factor that at all. I bet they're way too lazy. But yeah, so it's tough because you need to find interesting, popular, and current content, and you need to know while it's airing that it's gonna be good content. So like maybe you could have done something like Vincenzo recently, but realistically, I don't know. So here's the thing, and this is some inside baseball stuff, but when we're getting assigned dramas for recapping, and this is still the case to this day. We don't just get assigned. We are given a list of basically all of the dramas that are coming up in the next 2 months.
8% drop rate on the trees.
Oh, I also have another quest I'm doing here, so.
Oh, you just got Secret Quest. That's great.
What was I saying? I
As
completely
soon as
lost
you're
my
pretty
train of
camped,
thought.
you deserve this.
Yeah, I was talking about Vincenzo, and I was talking about our process. So, yeah, we get a list of every drama that's coming out, and you get to pick. Are you interested in this? It's a 3-point scale, so it's either I'm
My
not
wand
interested
should
in
do
it.
7,000% damage on trees.
I don't get it.
It's fire.
Why your one specifically?
Any fire wand.
So it's a 3-point scale. It's either I'm not interested at all. I would be happy to recap this. Actually, no, it's a 4-point scale. I lied. I would be happy to recap the first episode is an option. And then I would be happy to recap this. Or finally, I would love to recap this. Right. And this is a way to gauge interest in it. But even still, like, I mean, there's options on there that you know are never gonna get. You're not gonna get a chance to recap them because they're just no one's gonna watch them. It might be interesting to you, but if no one else is watching it, then it's pointless. You're not. The company's not gonna pay you to do this because we do get paid. I should say. But yeah, I mean, if you're not bringing in page views, then why are we paying you? Thanks for the rotting wood.
I feel like we should have had this quest before we killed all those bears earlier.
Oh, there's no way we're getting that. I'm just skipping him.
I
Actually, you probably could have got it.
could have gotten it.
I just assumed that he was going to get it. And so, the thing is, there's a similar thing that you have to do when you're thinking about React content for K-dramas, right? Where if no one's going to watch a show, you're not going to get any views. So why are you spending this
So
time?
here's a photo of Dumbledore pointing at the camera. He's standing next to McGonagall and Gilderoy. What you have to tell me is what school what are they called? House border is on this photo. Like every photo has one of the 4 houses as the border.
Oh my god. How am I supposed to know that?
I'm not sure if you are.
Let's see. Who were the middle tables? It's probably a middle one. I'm gonna go with... Was Hufflepuff in the middle or was it Raven? I feel like Ravenclaw was at the end. I'm gonna pick Hufflepuff.
It was Ravenclaw.
Damn. So yeah, I mean, that's something that we're gonna think about here. I mean, I'm really bad, especially recently.
Where did you suddenly get 3 claws from?
I just loot the things. What do you mean? If you weren't spending all your time dead, maybe you'd get some too. I've been really bad about watching current K-dramas, and in particular with Chris here. We've spent a lot of time recently.
I
going
didn't
back
get to roll over my debuff because this asshole stunned me.
over sort of classic stuff. So, like, for instance, right now we're rewatching My Love from the Start, which obviously, again, I think this only meets.
Anger Claw Grizzlies have like half the drop rate apparently, but that might not be accurate because people kill way more Anger Claw Grizzlies.
Yeah, so like if we think about the criteria for this, right? It's not current. So it's automatically disqualified, right? If it doesn't meet all 3 of them, then it's a bad one. I mean, you can maybe make the argument on the popularity question that you can't really know that, and that's definitely true. I mean, you have to be good at sussing out what people are going to find popular. Would you have said that Forest of Secrets was going to be as popular as it was? I mean, it just sounded like a dense thriller at the time, and it turned out to be incredibly well loved, and I think that's what drove a lot of the viewership, especially in the foreign circle. My Love from the Star was hugely popular, and to be honest, you probably could have predicted it was going to be hugely popular with who was in it. But I think the other thing that you have to think here is it interesting enough to recap on? And I think, or not to recap on, to react on. I think actually, you could have made a borderline case. Rom-coms in general, it tends to be difficult to do. Like, I'm thinking of something like Weightlifting Fairy. I don't think you, as much as I love Weightlifting Fairy, I don't think you could react to it. Because it's just too airy, bubblegum, cotton candy type of thing, right? There's some moments in...
I don't get it. I'm higher level, I do way more damage, yet these bears take the exact same amount to kill.
Have you thought about getting good?
Completely irrelevant.
Yeah, there's some moments in My Love from the Star. Undoubtedly. You know, I'm thinking, we're not even at this point yet, but I know it's coming. The episode 8 cliffhanger of Jun Ji-hyun's character careening off a cliff and Do Min-jun coming out of nowhere and slamming his hands down. Like, a super cool scene. I love that scene. Would be great to react to. It would also be great, I think, to react to the lawyer just having the absolute time of his life. Like, that had to be the most fun role of his entire career, because he's just like sitting there just absolutely trolling Do Min-jun the entire time, and just with the biggest shit-eating grin on his face every single time anything's happening. Any like weird misunderstanding where everyone thinks that he's Min-jun's father. It'd just be great. There's a tree over here, or a heart. I don't know if you're close enough. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun to react to. Some of the murder stuff with Shin Sung-rock's character also would be fun, I think. So I think that's like one of the borderline you need to find a rom-com that also has like some stuff that happens in it. Like, that's the big problem with trying to do rom-coms, is you don't know if nothing's gonna happen in it. And like, same thing with like Jealousy Incarnate. I think Jealousy Incarnate would be horrible to try to react to. As much as that's a extremely well-loved, critically acclaimed show, I don't know that you could react to it, because it's a drama, but it's not drama that you can really react to, I don't think. It's just... it's not action-y. Like, stuff needs to happen, right? I mean, I have some weird qualms with that show. Just from in terms of like content of the show. that most other people wouldn't have. The actual material, the stuff on breast cancer, is really tough for me. And this is supposed to be a rom-com, and watching them sort of make light of breast cancer stuff is like really weird to me. And I was sort of uncomfortable watching it, rather than I think the intended part. Like, they're doing the mammogram on Jo Dong-suk's character, and I'm just like cringing the whole time because I'm like, oh, you guys are trying to make a joke of this, aren't you? And it's, if you've experienced that, like, if you've been touched by breast cancer, you're just kind of like, ugh, I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if I can laugh at this, guys. Like, I get where you're going for, but like, I don't know, man. So I have some weird qualms with that. There's something like, let me take a step back here. Something like, if we're just gonna, let's talk about
Oh
Jo Dong-suk for a
man,
second.
Pat McAfee covered the hockey fight.
I don't think you can really call it the hockey fight, because it was kind of more than one. Also, he's a professional fighter now, so it makes sense. Yeah, so let's talk about other Jo Dong-suk stuff as for like a baseline of what you can cover and what you can't cover in a React show. So like, okay, I'm gonna think back to all this stuff. Actually, movies might be a good one to do, but I don't know how well you can. Well, I mean, we're taking an hour of content from a K-drama episode and condensing that into a 10-minute React video. Can you do the same with a movie? Maybe not. I mean, is reacting to Parasite really a thing that you can do? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so let me think about this. So, Jo Dong-suk's, at least the stuff that I've gone through, right? So, the first one I watched with him was You're the Best, Lee Sun-shin. Definitely not something that you could react to. The sort of family drama type stuff, definitely not good React content there. There's a lot of mellow stuff for sure, but I think you're gonna run into so much Makjang in those that it's just like. Although actually, thinking about Shin Sung-rock, like what was it? The Last Empress? Is that the one that he did? That one might have been a good one to do, just because like the Makjang is like so insane and over like. Obviously, the big networks made a rule of like no Makjang for a while, especially on like non-family drama ones, which was good, but then you get something like that show where everything is insane, and it's just like leaning completely, like 100% leans into it, then you can react to something like that, because it's like, oh, you guys, you know what you're doing here. You guys are just like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And that can be fun in its own way. So that would maybe actually be a fun one to do. Let me get back to Jo Dong-suk. So, okay, You're the Best, Lee Sun-shin. No, definitely not. The King Two Hearts was the next one that I watched from him. I think you could definitely do that one. It's a rom-com, but it's like a rom-com with some added like action-y stuff, and you've got this sort of, I don't want to call it spycraft because it's not really that, but it's like weird political assassin type of stuff and like military competition stuff and the North-South dynamic. Really an interesting thing that you could react to. And then of course popular Popular and interesting are the two criteria that we really want, right? We're assuming in all of these cases that it's current. So that would have been a good one to do. You're going to find that a lot of JoJo Suck stuff that I've watched is good. What are some other ones? Oh My Ghost. Is it Oh My Ghost or Oh My Ghostess? It's probably Oh My Ghostess, I think, is the official name for it. Would have been excellent. You've got some weird murder stuff, some weird, like... I mean, it's not a horror show. But there's some good funny stuff in it. You get to have like funny, like alternating between like super horny Park Bo Young and super not horny, and like the weird dynamic that gets created from that. I don't know if there's enough interesting stuff in it. I think you could maybe have gone into that with an idea of, I can maybe do this. But I'm not sure that enough interesting stuff happens in it that by the end of it, you would be like, this was worth doing. But maybe. I think you would maybe go into that with an idea of, like, this might be something that we could do. And then you probably end up disappointed with the final product. But... not to say that that's a bad show. Like, it's a really good show, and I really enjoyed it. But it's not... I don't think it would be great for React content. The only other big one that I've... The reason I was thinking about films was Architecture 101. One of my favorite films. Obviously, JoJo Jung Suk, a minor character, as Niptuki. I don't know that you could react to that. Because again, not much happens in it. It's kind of just a rom-com. And I don't know that the material there is enough to warrant reacting to it. Again, I don't really know that we would do films. I think you would want to do a much longer... I don't know with... The thing with doing it to shows is you have a lot of content to go through. And it's a lot more spread out than a film would be, because you need to condense your entire plot into this 1.5 to 2.5 hour thing. And you don't have to do that with dramas and with television. And I think that's why a lot of React content is to television shows specifically. Is there's a lot more content, but also it's a lot less dense in some cases. You know, just thinking of trying to react to something like The Wire. Good luck. But aside from that, I mean, you need something that's not super dense, because you have a 10-minute limit. You can only show 10 minutes of footage. And if you're trying to condense a 2.5 hour movie into 10 minutes of footage for you to react to, it's difficult, right? If you're trying to cut down a 1 hour episode each week, that's each 2 weeks in the case of K-dramas, that's a lot more manageable of a task. And I think more naturally leads us up to being able to do React content. Now, that said, there's the one other show that I think would have made good React content. I don't know how popular the show was. Two Cops is hilarious. And again, it's not the type of thriller drama. There's some you need thriller elements, I think. If you don't have thriller elements, if you're just reacting to a standard rom-com, I don't think it works. Because what are you reacting to? You're just reacting to like cute scenes, and it's like, oh wow, nice. Not gonna work for me. I mean, maybe that's just me. Maybe that would work for someone else. For me though, I can't, because I'm not gonna be able to give good reactions to that. I can react to crazy stuff happening in a drama, but just random like cute moments is like, okay. So Two Cops, I mean, doesn't really have that. I mean, it has some romance stuff in it, but the show is more a sort of comedy / thriller hybrid, and the comedy comes from not any romantic leanings, but from this weird buddy cop type of thing, buddy criminal type of thing. What's that other one with Kim Sa-ho? It's not Two Cops. It can't be Two Cops. There's no way it's Two Cops. I just remember a show I watched with him where I have this great picture of him in a Grumpy Bear costume, and I was like, oh, this is hilarious. It's definitely a rom-com. Either way, it doesn't matter. It can't have been this, can it? Maybe, no. Anyway, doesn't matter. Either way, Two Cops would be a really interesting one. I still think the best React content is going to be the pure thrillers. You can do an occasional like comedy that has thriller elements in it, and you know, maybe in a sense you kind of want to fit those in, so you're not just watching thrillers. So the thing is, you watch every thriller that comes out. Some of them are bad, some of them are really bad, and you can definitely burn yourself out. Like, I recapped,
Let's get this party started.
I don't want to say the entirety of Trap, because I stopped with one episode to go. But I watched the entire series of Trap, and Trap had some really interesting stuff that happened in it. And then it just, the last episode was just like, oh god. And that would be a total disaster for a React channel of like, here's this really interesting, cool stuff that happens for 6 episodes, and then the final episode just completely blows it, and you're like, oh god, what have I done? This sucks. And you don't want that. That's bad. That's depressing content to put out. So we never posted the final Trap recap because I finished watching it. 'Cause my recap process is always I watch it once to comprehend what's happening, and then we go through and start the recap process. And so I watched the full episode and it was just like, oh, fuck. I just don't want to watch this again. This sucked. And now I've got to spend several hours, probably around 4 hours, writing the actual recap of what happened. And I say 4 hours. It would be 4 hours under like normal circumstances, but with like how much I fucking hated it, like that would have been a much longer task. Like I would have just been dreading it the whole time, and just like procrastinate throughout the entire process, which is sort of what happened because we were going through the motions of trying to do it. But we would do that, and then it would take forever, and then we'd have to go through the screen capping process, which is another probably hour and a half. Yeah, probably an hour and a half between. It's probably more like 2 hours if you factor in the picking and all the touch-up stuff that you have to do. Because there's definitely a lot of photo editing stuff that you have to do. There's a lot of stuff that people don't realize about the recap process. And Yeah, I mean, I was just dreading it the whole time of like, I'm gonna have to fucking do this, and I just really don't fucking want to. And yeah, eventually I was just talking to my editor, and I was like, I don't know that I can write this. I don't know that I can spend the time on this, because I'm just like drained. I can't. This was in a really cool spot, and then it wasn't anymore. And it was just like pure depression from having this show that you were enjoying just completely fall apart. And this happens a lot with thrillers. This is the problem. Like, finding a good thriller that keeps you hooked beginning to end, something like Signal, that's really hard to find, man. Something like Secret Forest, that's really hard to find. And when you do find them, everyone loves them, and it gets universal acclaim, wins all the awards that we have. But if you mess it up, like there's so many more examples of promising shows, and promising premises that don't get to that point because something goes wrong along the way, and you're just like, ugh. Like, I was watching Cross for some reason, and I was actually really enjoying it for the first couple of, like, not that I enjoy medical dramas a lot, but like, it was like, yeah, you know, there's something here. You can make something out of this. And then it just sucked. it just, as it kept going, you just realize, like, oh no, this actually sucks. And this happens so often with these shows. It's so hard to make a good thriller from beginning to end. And I think that's part of the reason why everyone has so much respect for the ones that end up being really good. Because it's so easy to fall along the way. So, it's tough. And this is the problem of thinking about this channel and what kind of React content we want to do on it. Is if you're just doing thrillers all the time, it's just thrillers, and it's just pure thriller, you're gonna run into some bad ones that suck, that were good for a portion of it, and then they just fall apart, and that's gonna be rough content. And you're also going to burn yourself out.
Where are you going?
Don't we have Blood Hammer to get?
It's back here. What are you going up here for?
Oh, is it? I don't know how these things work.
I mean, it's super overcamped. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do it. You know, it's not a very good quest for 9 p.m.
Isn't there a whole cave?
A whole cave that's overcamped.
So yeah, we think about this, right? And what kind of content we can actually do. You get burned out. It's for sure gonna happen if you just watch thrillers. There's no way it won't happen. I ran into this doing recaps because all the recaps I signed up for were these pure thrillers. I was basically just watching thrillers. And eventually I was like, just put in this massive slump because there was nothing good. Like, until my Ajushi came along and was good again, it was like, okay, every show I watch sucks.
That was my loop.
Yeah, but I'm more important than you.
That's not true. You're not even any good at the game.
That's not true. So you need to have those sort of breaks. And that's why like the comedy thriller type of thing is a really good break from that. Plus you have the added benefit of comedy thrillers are much more likely to be popular than a regular thriller is.
I'm out of range.
I wanted to go pull this Moss Flare, but I'm stuck.
I need to get closer.
So they're much more likely to be popular because more people watch comedy type shows in general. So if you find a good, like, I don't know, spy thriller that's like a comedy based, you're gonna have a much more reasonable chance of succeeding at getting viewership. Like something like Vagabond, which is something I recapped, much more likely to be super popular, right? I mean, it's got fucking Susie in it, so of course it's gonna be popular. For some reason, I mean, it's not a good show. It's just a mediocre thriller. But it's probably something that you could get away with doing a React series on. And it's not really, it's not a pure thriller, right? Like, you're going into that. I guess that sort of is in a way. I like to think of it just because it has fucking Susie in it that it isn't like that, but it probably actually does qualify as a pure thriller. I don't know. I mean, these are the things you have to think about, though. And like, could we do React content to music videos? Probably. Music is much less my forte as dramas are. Chris is definitely much more of a music guy than me. So if we were gonna do music React content, it's probably better for it to be from him. Although in a sense, it is kind of good to have someone who's not not someone who's really as versed in it react to it, because they can give sort of more unbiased reactions. Not that you want. This is the secret of React content, is you never want to give negative reactions. You always want to be like, "Wow, this is the greatest song ever." And I think in what we've talked about in doing React content, we kind of don't want to do music React content because we feel like we're gonna throw out half the videos, at least half the videos, for songs being bad. Especially if I try to react to Yoja Idol videos. My initial reactions to every Yoja Idol song other than Lion has been negative. I just am not a fan of their music and their style in general, which is crazy to say because Lion is like literally my all-time favorite song. But the rest of their music I'm just not a fan of, for the most part. I mean, I've come to really enjoy Hwa. What else? That's basically it. I mean, La Ta Ta is my ringtone on my work phone. But other than that, like, even I don't even really like La Ta Ta that much. It just made a really good ringtone for the like 30-second loop that I had. And so it fit there specifically. But like, oh my god, it's not that I disrespect them as a group. I think they're just going for a completely different sound and a completely different style from what I want out of K-pop. And so most of their music I just find underwhelming to my taste because it's not what I want. And it's just a reality of their style of music that whenever I watch one of their music videos, I'm not going to enjoy it as much as he does. He's a big fan of Yoja Idol relative to me. Pretty much all the songs that I dislike, he really likes. So, so that's good, right? So, I mean, maybe you could think of it as in a sense of like, you know, maybe our styles are such that we can do React content on K-pop and basically split it. We can well, not split it, but basically both do it, and whoever ends up actually liking it is the one who posts the video. Because again, the untold secret of React videos is...
Got an ad here.
The untold secret of React content is you never want to negatively react to something. So if I reacted to "Oh my god," everyone, like, the comment section would be a disaster, because it'd be like, what the fuck? How could you not like this? Like, that's what's going to happen if you do React content to stuff that you don't enjoy. You're going to get fans who blindly love everything of that band saying, wow, you're crazy. Which, to a certain extent, you can say, like, oh, well, just ignore it. But it's not as simple as that. You can't just say that. Different things affect... different things that are said affect different people in different ways. I like to think that I would be completely unaffected by anything that anyone ever says to me on the internet. I like to think that. Not even just on the internet, but just in general. But, what the fuck, who cares? There's a very funny example of this, where at my place of business, there's a review posted that literally calls me out by name and accuses me of being a racist. And really the full story there is the guy got denied service because he didn't have valid photo ID, so we couldn't do anything for him. And then he turned that into me being a racist. But it was like, reading that review was like, okay, buddy. Like, I just laughed at it. It's like, go on. I know what the actual story is here. And of course, like, you're never publicly commenting on it, but it's like, come on. Who are we getting here? And I like to think I would have a similar response to a lot of internet comments. Which is not to say that I don't read the comments. I think a lot of the advice that people give is don't read the comments. I don't think you can do that when you're a smaller channel or have a smaller audience. Like, I would still read all the comments on Drama Beans when I wrote articles there. Because there's some valid stuff to be had in there, some valid conversations. And if you think of sort of the purpose of a recap on that site in particular, it is to drum up the discussion. You know, you have this discussion sort of section at the bottom of your recap, which is there to start the conversation. And if you then just ignore the conversation that's happening under that, it's like, okay, so what are you learning from, your job basically is to drum up discussion in these pages, and you didn't do that. Or not that you didn't do that, but like you're not actually paying attention to how successful you've been at that. And like if this is your job, you kind of need to go in and see that happening. Now, something on like a YouTube channel, is it your job to drum up discussion? I mean, you could make an argument that in a way it is your job, because your goal in a lot of cases is to grow your channel, and one of the best ways to do that, I would say, is likely going to be through engaging the community that you're trying to build and actually being a part of it. And maybe that doesn't mean you're replying to comments, but you should definitely be engaging with people in your community, or you're just doomed. You're not going to be able to succeed because you're not listening to the people who are watching you. And I think it's perfectly fair to say that, well, look, these guys aren't professionals in this industry. They don't really know what's the best course of action for something like this. So who are they to tell you how to run your channel? And that's fair. And I think that's when you get comments that are along those lines of like, oh, you should do this, this, and this, or something like that. That's different from someone who's engaging with your content and engaging you in discussion around that content. Because that's actual constructive feedback versus someone who's just shitting on you, right? And I think universally people would say, don't engage with with that kind of thing. Yo, is this guy for real? I just got a message and it just says summon ?
Yeah, this guy needs a summon to Fellwood. Whip out the closet.
Don't you also need 2 people to be able to do that?
He's just
2
like
other people?
have other people with you.
That's all me. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I don't know 100% of what all the content we're going to do is. There's definitely going to be some React content, right? Some of the earlier work that I've done in video content was in sort of review type of content. That's a lot of fucking work. And that's why you've seen a lot of React content pop up recently. It's much easier to edit a React video than to commit to a full review of something. And in thinking of some of the other video series I've tossed around as ideas before, I'm going to throw this out there because this is probably not something that we're doing for a variety of reasons. Including that it's not current content anymore, so who cares? But one of the things that I talked about doing was a breakdown, like an analytical breakdown of every episode of The Genius. The games that happen on them, the death matches that happen on them, what the strategy should be, these types of things. And there's a reason why it hasn't happened, and that's because it's gonna take fucking forever to do it. So, just think of just thinking of the amount of time it would take to do one episode. So, like, here's the thing, right? When I first applied for Drama Beans, one of the things that I shared was a recap of the first episode of season 3 of The Genius when it first aired. Which was like literally 10,000 word fucking full breakdown. That's where this idea like came from for the video series, right? It's like, oh, let's just do this but in video form. But like the thing is, the amount of work that you have to do for that is basically the same. Yes, video is going to be better content, a better platform for that kind of thing. But like, holy shit, that took a lot of fucking time. And to sit here and commit to doing one fucking per episode is crazy. And then that's not even to say, because we started this by talking about the review series thing, right? So I did a couple of the review series videos. Those took a fucking long time too. So like, here's what you have to do just to get that into a state where you can make that content, right? You need to watch the entire series, which, depending on the length of the series, you're looking at somewhere between 20 to 50 hours of content that you're watching first. Once you're done that, you need to write... Do we have to kill Chieftain Bloodmop or something? Is it a separate quest, or does he drop a quest?
I mean, if you dropped a quest, I think there'd be an exclamation point. It might be a separate quest. You might just like be a dude who's there.
Oh, there's definitely a quest for him. You have to write the script for it. I mean, you have to think about like what your actual content in the video is. So what are you saying? What are you scoring it? What are you calling out? What are you shouting out? You think about all these things. I'm going across. Then you have to write your script. You have to capture the actual video that you're going to be using in it. In the case of the ones that I did, it basically took the first quarter of the episodes and found footage that was relevant to the things I was talking about in the script. So if I was talking about the performance of a particular actress, I would be...
I got a quest drop thing here.
I'd be talking about their particular... Or I'd be finding footage of them in the show so that I could give
what the hell? Oh,
a
here it
specific
is.
example of it. I got a quest item right here. What do we have to do for that one?
Turn it in.
Oh god, we have to get rep.
Let's get this party started.
Yes, you have to grab that footage. You have to then shoot the video. In general, the process is
Maybe
actually...
we just get like the Avenger and the Din Watcher over here. Or we're gonna get all of them.
we'll probably get all of them, but we'll try. Oh, we got all of them. I'm running the fuck away.
Definitely.
You can maybe kill this Den Watcher, because I doubt they're aggroed to you.
Oh no, I dotted one of them.
Oh, why would you do that?
I was pulling.
Never felt so good.
Oh, they call for help too? Jesus. Yeah, so in a lot of cases, you shoot the audio separately. You also then have to, why is it all shamans?
Because nobody needs shamans, so you just leave them all.
I want to look up this.
I got an Avenger up here and a Den Watcher right past it. He patted to the village, he'll probably pat back. I don't know if you can grab him or not.
I'm a god gamer. Why is there a Winterfall runner here? Can we kill that guy? I mean, he's surrounded by fucking dudes, so it's probably gonna be fucking hard.
Do we need to kill him?
I don't know. Apparently the only thing about Chieftain Bloodmaw... Oh dear god.
At first, they didn't
Kill the
respond.
Avenger.
Suddenly they all ran. That guy was
Stop here.
really far away from them. Why stop here?
Fucking... Oh, we got the runner too. Never mind, you should run. Stop here. Wait, no, never mind.
I'm out of combat.
I'm not. Are they still chasing me? Jesus Christ. I'm out of mana, so I can't summon my pet. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I mean, reviews take forever. I don't think it's realistic content. As much as I think review content is sort of a staple of a lot of places, I think a lot of places have realized that it's not actually a good idea anymore. It's not worth the investment of the time. I think that's true. I'm gonna see if something drops from these Winterfall runners. I think they actually do. Oh,
There's a quest later for them.
yeah. What do we still need? Dan Watchers?
2 Den Watchers.
Well, here's one.
There's another one over here. That's the shaman.
Yeah, super not worth the time investment. And the thing is, too, if you think about what we were talking about earlier with React content, and what we would want to see, or what the criteria are for what we would pick as a good option for React content, Well, one of the criteria was that it's timely. And do you really have that with the review? Because the thing with drama content, most people are watching it the same time that you're watching it. They're watching it as it's airing. And if you do review content, inherently, it's content that's coming after you finished. How close are we on Timbermaw Rep?
Nowhere near. I mean, we're 2890 hostile. Does hostile, is that good or?
I think it still counts up, so I think we just need 110 more.
Oh, well then we're pretty close. Turning this in might help.
Yeah, so inherently, review content actually kind of doesn't make sense because no one's gonna watch it at that point. I mean, maybe it makes sense for end of year stuff. We did it. Oh, we have to get to neutral? Jesus. Well, I mean, we should go in and talk to this guy, I guess. Wait, can we? Oh wow, we can actually go through here. Amazing. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think I keep messing things up. I don't think review content.
Where's this turning?
Makes
I don't
sense.
see it.
Is it on the other side of the cave?
Speak to Sophia's over there. Is it north?
I think it's through here. On my map, it looks like it's over here. So yeah, I mean, as much as like we did review content back in the day, especially considering like what review content we would be doing is mostly very old stuff. I say very old. These guys were just camping the runners. Okay. We're going back through, right?
I guess. Where does this totem thing, like... Oh, the totem you...
You can be neutral. That's why I laughed and was like, oh, we have to be neutral?
I couldn't figure out why you thought we need to be neutral. I thought there might be some other quest. I didn't look.
See, this is why we gotta do this now, so we can be exalted with these guys before the launch, you know?
I don't know.
I wanted to test the video or the lighting with this. Ooh, that's very bright, isn't it?
That sounds like some Vegito shit.
That seems too bright. It looks really good over here on this preview. But over here, the actual video feed that's coming through is actually like way too bright. Like that almost does nothing. That's actual proper lighting, but also seems too bright. The other option.
So I guess now we just need ooze, and
Let's do
if
this.
these turn-ins have any extras. You might need claws.
Let's see how that goes. I need claws and ooze. You can farm some Timbermaw rep for me while I'm doing this.
I don't know if that's gonna work that way. I don't think it'll be close enough.
This is not a reasonable light setting for shooting videos with.
Maybe claws.
I mean, you could pick a color. So like, blue's a bad color to pick.
We're not getting a lot of
room
rune cloth.
And we didn't kill that many humanoids.
That's what I'm saying. None of these zones have humans.
Plague lands.
Plague lands is gonna be a bunch of plague bats and grubs. Maybe Western has some.
Anderhall.
Gonna have to do some Skolomance.
I'm not sure this is a realistic option. And also, the light here seems fine as far as getting me in the proper lighting to see me. I mean, we'll have to review the footage to know for sure, but this looks reasonable. As far as lighting on my face, I don't know. You can see my face. From what I can tell from the preview stream, you can see my face. And let's compare it to this. I mean, this looks fine, right? I mean, obviously I'm not centered in the screen. Because I'm absolutely the most casual fucking dude right now. And the camera is positioned for me to be sitting up. Which, to be fair, when I'm actually shooting video, I would be sitting up. I wouldn't be in this position. This is my fucking, I'm just chilling stance.
Let's get this party started.
Yeah, so anyway, let's go back to classic. Yeah. Now, what other content could we have? That becomes the question. Is it reasonable? I think it's reasonable for us to do some sort of podcast type of thing between myself and Chris. I don't know if it makes sense to do a weekly thing. Weekly is probably too much. With how much work is going to be involved in shooting React content for dramas. Because that's realistically what we would be talking about is dramas. And again, that's the bread and butter here. I know maybe we would talk about random shit like video games, like this fucking WoW Classic bullshit that we're playing. Or, you know, we don't really play any other games other than World of Warcraft, it turns out. And not enough that we could make it a regular podcast. This would be like tangential. We're talking about this shit in between talking about K-dramas. 'Cause K-dramas, I think, really has to make up the meat of what we're doing. I love getting work emails at 9:30. Great. So, yeah, does it make sense to... it definitely makes sense to talk about other content that's not K-dramas. Because you need to inflict your own... Inflict? That's a bad word. You need to inject your own personality into the content. You're making content on YouTube in 2021. You need to understand that your personality is what's on the table here. That's what you're selling. You're not selling your knowledge of K-dramas. In a sense you are, but the thing that gets people to watch is your personality. And you can't just provide vanilla ass content. Now, the question becomes, do your tangents actually entertain people? If people are coming to a K-drama podcast type of thing, and you spend a bunch of time talking about random shit like video games, especially random shit like World of Warcraft that no one fucking cares about, do people actually enjoy that? And I think that's a valid question to ask. The thing that I would point to as a model is something, at least for a podcast, is something like the Giant Bombcast, which has been a staple gaming podcast for a very long time. And not because they are the best at video games or have the most reasonable takes on video games, or even the hottest takes on video games, but because their personalities are what's actually being sold through that product. And them going on wild tangents about random shit that have nothing to do with video games make that show amazing. Or have made that show amazing. Obviously some news this week about stuff going on there, which is sad. End of an era for sure. But this is what made that show so successful. And the thing is, with podcast content, I don't know that you're necessarily... The goal, I think, with podcasts isn't to sell ads. The goal with podcasts is to bring in eyeballs. That's what you're doing there. You want to bring in eyeballs to your other content. That's why you make a podcast. You're not making a podcast itself for the views, because you can't monetize it. I mean, you can monetize it a lot more so nowadays, and especially if you're just posting them on YouTube, then you definitely can. But this is, in my view, the podcast is like the gateway drug into your content. And people need to know what they're getting with you when you do that. And so I think a podcast inherently needs to be a true reflection, or the truest possible reflection, of your personality and what you're bringing to your content. And look, if we randomly start talking about stuff that's not really related, I'm just thinking about some of the group watches that I've done with Chris. There's just some random tangents that we go on, and it's like, this is enjoyable to us, and our goal should be to find people who are like-minded in that. And I think there's definitely a space for that in K-drama. I don't want to say K-drama YouTube, because that just... Is K-drama YouTube really a thing? I don't think it is. But in the K-drama circle, and in my experience in the K-drama circle, I think there's a large amount of content catered to specific types of people that I'm not represented by. And what I mean by that, if you look at like the content on Drama Beans, for instance, I am a thriller person. I sign up for thrillers, and that's the thing that I go to for K-dramas, right? I'm not even saying this as like a So yeah, so we're gonna be a thriller channel. This is the content that I'm interested in, and realistically, Drama Beans doesn't cater to that content. The type of stuff that's popular on Drama Beans and in the Drama Beans audience is, for the most part, rom-com type of stuff. That's the stuff that has the biggest page views, the largest discussions on the site is popular rom-coms. And that's not my cup of tea. So it's weird, even though I'm staff at Drama Beans, it's a weird space for me because the content that I enjoy in the K-drama universe
You did it. You get all the claws.
is not necessarily the same as what the content that those people enjoy. And that's what I mean when I say I think there's space for what we bring to the table, because I don't think there's a place for people like me and Chris and our particular brand of discussion around K-dramas and the types of K-dramas that we enjoy. I don't think that space is filled. I think there's a lot of great content creators out there. You know, obviously a lot of the staff at Drama Beans I am huge fans of, and not just saying that because I work for them, but because I genuinely enjoy reading their content. Do I personally feel like recaps are are a good form of content that's engaging with the things that I want to engage with when I think about K-dramas? No, not necessarily. I don't necessarily think that's the case. You know, there's some other podcasts out there. Dramas Over Flowers. Some amazing people there. Is that content that I would be making myself? No, probably not. They're not necessarily the discussions and again, I can't stress this enough. They're amazing, and they're providing content that a lot of people really enjoy. Me saying that I don't particularly engage with that type of content doesn't mean that content's bad. I think it's amazing content, again. But it's not content that is designed for me to consume. And that's what I really want to get at with this, is building a space for the people like me who don't have that space. It's especially prevalent to me when thinking about all the coverage of rom-coms that I've seen. And it's like, I really just don't care about rom-coms. I will watch a rom-com if it's particularly popular and well-liked. I will almost never be watching a rom-com as it's airing. And I don't really engage with it in the same way that everyone else engages with that content. And the type of content that I do engage with, I feel like is underserved by those markets. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from with this project. This is a really weird time in my life to be starting this. If I started this at the start of the pandemic, it would have made a lot more sense. Because I would have actually had time. Like this time last year would have been perfect. I was only working 2 days a week. I would have actually had a ton more time to invest in it. And instead, I'm just doing this now, while back to working full time, and while considering a transition into, well, it's the same role, but considering a move from my existing location and my existing employer, the location thing being the important one, right? Because as of right now, it would be easy for me to make content here with if I knew that nothing was changing in the near future, and to just be like, yeah, this is it. We're making content here. But I'm literally planning a move as early as next month to the other side of the country, and it's like, okay, so we're gonna start this channel, and then right as we're getting going, take everything and move, and I have to deal with the logistics of that, and the logistics of new internet, the logistics of getting a new place to record this stuff. I'm obviously recording this in my apartment right now, and theoretically would be doing the same thing in a new location, but that also means I have to move all this equipment, and I literally just moved all this equipment here from the other side of this apartment to get better lighting conditions. You know, it turns out with the new camera system that we've figured out, maybe didn't need to do that, but at the same time, I definitely am happy with this new setup, and feels a lot less claustrophobic in here right now, which is good. Then obviously we move across the country, we have to figure out setup in a new location, and it's like could have timed this a little better, and there's reasons unrelated to any of the stuff that I've been working on here that have gone towards the decision to look for opportunities elsewhere. Yeah, I won't say much into that. I mean, I haven't talked about the specific company that I work for, as that would be against our social media policy. But I mean, let's just say that in this the past month or so, there's been some decisions that have really rubbed me the wrong way, and some things that have happened, and some communication with the people above me that have really soured me on the idea of working for this company, and have made me consider moving on. And that's tough. On one hand, you know, this is a company that has put a ton of resources and a ton of faith into developing me. Where the fuck is my pet at? And
how you
putting
doing
me
on ooze?
into a position. I still need 3 more blood venom essences.
What the hell's that?
It's a quest item.
You and your secret quests.
Ooh, there was one from one of the ones that you killed. Damn. I'm just killing oozes. We're supposed to be killing oozes, right? So this makes sense.
I think I probably have enough ooze.
How much do you have?
28.
Jesus Christ. I only have 13. How do you have 28?
What do you think I did while you did claws?
Well, you know, you can keep killing them, but just let me loot them all.
I was aiming for 30, but I mean, probably good. We have to go south to turn in, so I'm sort of heading south.
Well, I'm gonna be here for a while still.
Well, it was the south.
Yeah, but I guess there's some down there. Oh wait, no, I need these specific ones because these are the only ones that drop the blood venom essence.
Oh my god! If only you didn't have secret quests.
Well, I only need one more secret quest item.
I bet this ooze I'm killing drops it.
Is it a tainted ooze?
Yeah, what other ooze would it be?
I'm sure there's other types of ooze.
Ooze here too, so we got a bunch of ooze here.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been disappointing for me, and I've had a lot of faith in this company and the decisions that they were making, and I would say that up until this past month, I agreed with. I won't say 100%, but I mean, I either agreed with or was at least aligned that this was a reasonable decision to make. Maybe wouldn't have been exactly how I would have done it, but I mean,
these?
considered. Can I turn this in or no? And then recently, there's just been a string of decisions that have been like, what the hell happened here? Like, this is not it's not like the leadership has changed. It's the same people. I have 18. Do you think that's enough?
No. I see multiple posts, people who said they brought 20 and it wasn't enough. I've seen people who said that it took them 10, which is way more than it took me. And we can probably head south now and kill the south oozes, since we don't
Well, I
need-
gotta turn this quest in though.
Where does it turn in at?
Right here.
I hate you.
Yeah. I
Your
mean,
stupid secret quests are all convenient. Mine are like a huge pain in the ass.
what do you mean? The secret quest was bring a Fellcloth, this random fucking imp in Fellwood.
You already were. My quest is to go to the Temple of Snakes. And
I mean, I had a quest earlier that we didn't do because it was go to the wetlands. And you refused.
I went to the wetlands earlier for your stupid quest.
We didn't do any quests, we just ran through the wetlands.
It's not my fault. I went to the wetlands. You're the one who chose not to do quests. I can't get this quest. This is so dumb. I need to go reroll Warlock.
Oh, well, you'll be happy to know that it's now saying go to the Sunken Temple and kill trolls inside.
Oh man, looks like we're going to the Sunken Temple.
That's not happening. I have 20 now. Do you think 20 is enough?
I'm thinking 30.
How
How many did it take you last time? Like 24?
It was probably like 20, 21, 22. Yeah. So, the leadership team hasn't changed here, at least the team that's above me. There's been one change, which was a new president in one of the positions. But that's basically it. My boss has been the same. I mean, my boss is about to leave. But aside from that, the boss above her is the same and has been the same for years. Above him has been the same for 3 years. CEO's been the same for 3 years. The chief of retail has been the same for 3 years. Like, there hasn't been turnover there, and then all of a sudden, the decision making changed in a way that I really don't agree with. And it really bothered me a lot, and I've expressed that it bothered me a lot to my boss. And to be fair, I don't know if she agrees with me. Probably doesn't agree with me, but she's at least sympathetic to my arguments, and I have passionately argued my case. But it's, I think, fallen on deaf ears above her. And I've seen texts from the people above her that were like, okay, so you're not listening to me. Okay, cool. And that's really been, that was really the catalyst for me looking at this. And at the same time, you know, it's not fair to say that this was the one thing that did it. Because even before I got this particular role, I was thinking about this. Made 4 more. I had been looking at positions out in British Columbia, even as I was in talks on this role. And we actually talked about this while we were going through that process of like, hey, if you really want to be out there, maybe we should just table this discussion and try to get you in that position instead. And, you know, maybe we should have done that. Yeah, maybe in retrospect, that would have been a more successful outcome for me. Because the problem is it would have been hard to say this. Like, back then, I would have felt like I would be relatively satisfied here. And there wouldn't be much that would stop me from wanting to be, not necessarily like, I would want to be out west, but it wouldn't be like, it would be like, yeah, eventually I'll get there, but like, I can do this for now. And then there's been some stuff in Ontario. Oh my god. It's just been a total clusterfuck. And as the pandemic has gone on, it has really crystallized my desire to get the hell out of this province, where it wasn't as strong of a feeling before. Like, there's two forces here, one that's pulling me out west and one that's pushing me out of Ontario, right? And it's not necessarily the pulling me out west one has gotten a little bit stronger over time. A little bit stronger. But the one that's really changed is the pushing me out of southwestern Ontario has gone way stronger. Like, I just cannot stand being in Ontario right now. And dealing with the shit here. Again, that's a big catalyst of wanting to get out of here. What is this quest?
Who knows?
I can't even pick it up. Can you pick it up?
Yeah. You have the stuff to turn in or something.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things coming together all at once that have led to me making this call.
And Loon be with you. May the stars guide you.
Because, I mean, let's say that I was exclusively upset with the direction here and the direction that I was facing. Where are we going now?
Do we want to kill those elves in Ashara?
Yeah, that's probably a good call. I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, so let's just say for a sec that it was purely based on the stuff happening in the company. Then the other thing I haven't even talked about yet is I've been more and more realizing that I don't want to go back to school. And that was really one of the key things that was tethering me here to the city. Was this is where my degree program is. I'm very close to finishing it, and if I'm gonna go back, then it's gonna be here. But as time has gone on, and as I've progressed along in my career, it's made less and less sense to go back. And so as that's become more of a realization for me, it's opened up the door of, okay, well, why am I here then? You know, I'm in this city specifically for the schooling. I have no other ties here. I have no roots here whatsoever. It's just the schooling. And I'm not doing that. So I don't need to be here. So yeah, again, it's a lot of things coming together. If it was just the
I think after this we go Burning Steps.
I think after this we go to Plague Lands.
I think Burning Steps are before Western Plague Lands. And also, once you're in Western Plague
They're all
Lands,
55 though.
Burning Steps is like 50 to 58, and it says Western Plague Lands is 51 to 58.
I'm just talking about all the quests. Like, all the quests are literally 55. In both zones. And we're going to Undercity to do this ooze thing. That's why I'm thinking it's the thing that makes sense.
There's we have a quest to do in Tunaris too.
I suppose we could go do that. I told you not to reset your hearth. There's a quest in Silithus. How are you not in combat? What the fuck?
I didn't get attacked by a bear.
Yeah, so if it was just a company thing that was...
So we go to Ashara, then we fly to Tunaris, then we Hearth, and go to Undercity.
Yes. If it's just a company thing, I would just look for work here. But you push everything together and it's like, okay. So
I don't know. We only have 4 zones left, and we got 7.5 levels.
how do we only have 4 zones left?
The 2 plague lands, winter, spring, burning steppes.
Silithus. Silithus.
I mean, how many quests are in Silithus?
All of them. Blasted lands. I mean, think of Ungoro Crater. That was 2 levels worth of content, right?
It was like 1.5.
Yeah,
I
so
don't-
we have enough then.
I don't think any zone other than maybe. I don't even think Western Plague Lands has that much.
Well, we still have to do Blackrock Depths too.
I mean, shouldn't we already have done that? What level is it?
I mean, I think it's like 50 to 60. Um,
52 to 60.
I was gonna say 52.
Is there anything more stupid than people who pronounce it Sholomance?
Yes. People who think golf should be banned.
I mean, you're all so close together when you play golf. There's so much kissing involved.
Yeah. When they say how many strokes did it take, you know what they're talking about. How many strokes did it take you to finish?
I was 2 under par.
Yeah. So it's a lot of things. That's another. I mean, that's one of the things. Related to Ontario.
I mean, trust me, I want golf to be available more than anybody.
Why? You're gonna have nothing to do, and I'm not here to play Classic with you.
I have so many games to play that I can't play because all I do is play this stupid game. I have to play Metal Gear Solid, whatever the new one is.
They're making new Metal Gear Solid games? Isn't Kojima like dead?
I mean, whatever the last one was. It's not like new, but it's the newest one.
Yeah, so that was another thing about Ontario that annoyed me. And, you know, when I talk about as the pandemic has progressed, it's crystallized my desire to get the hell out of here.
I need to level my priest.
It's been, you know, golf getting fucking banned here for no fucking reason. One of the safest activities you could possibly do right now. Yeah, just ever-growing frustration with the stuff going on here and the people in charge and the leadership here. It's just like, get me the hell out of here, please. I can't take it anymore.
Couldn't resist, could you?
I'm actually going over to the camps. Camps? You know what I'm talking about.
Never gets.
Thank God we have +10 fire resist.
Oh god, where's all my mana? How's this doing? 30%, eh?
Let's hit this hard.
So we started at like 75%, so 45% in 2.5 hours. So we got like maybe 5 hours worth of a battery on this thing. Honestly, it's more than I expected. And then obviously we've been... we just get a solution where this is just plugged in, right? That's like clearly the correct solution.
My mana is low.
But that'll have to happen. It's not going to happen in the near future. Because again, the live stream thing isn't a huge priority. This is a means for me to test this stuff. But really, we're going to be doing content that is not necessarily something that needs to be done on a live stream. And in fact, would probably not work in a live stream setting. You know, we're not going to be spending all day, every day gaming. We happen to be doing that right now on this vacation that I'm on, solely because I want to get this character capped before
This guy's rare.
TPC actually starts.
Let's get this hard.
I did it.
Hey, why are you running so close to this guy? Why are you running so close
No
to this
reason.
It's my turn to loot the rare. You're the greediest person I've ever met in my entire life. You looted the turtle.
I don't know what we're talking about. Where are the surveyors at?
Oh, look at the end of my wand.
Never gets.
Like, fireball coming out of it.
Yeah, but that's only one. Like, look at all the other mobs around here. They're all reclaimers.
You probably need more reclaimers than you need surveyors.
No, I don't think so.
Surveyors survey and the reclaimers get to work.
Oh, you meant like in the actual logistics of the operation here.
Yeah.
No one cares about lore, Chris. Once again, it's all reclaimers.
Oh, there's one at the 10 over there on the right.
Yeah, I see him. I got him.
When I was here before, it was all surveyors.
These guys have insane anger radius too. Yeah, that was. We were barely ever actually close to that guy. And we instantly pulled him. We're just running the fuck away. Somehow pulled the next one. I'm busy running away right now, so... Oh my god, I resisted. Okay, well, I'm gonna kill the last reclaimer. I ran out of room to run.
Let's get this party started.
Oh, there's this camp of 3 here.
I need help.
I've never died so fast in my life.
Don't worry, I killed one. Oh god. Don't worry, I killed 2. Now I'm gonna die. Oh, my pet's a hero! My pet with the clutch seduction.
I was trying to mind control, but at such a short range, I just kept getting interrupted because I had to get within attack range to cast it. And then I was trying to cast Shadow Word Pain, but I was just casting Renew over and over. And then I took 1,000 damage instantly.
Next time you should consider not dying. Oh no, my pet died. That's rude. Do I have anything to eat? Aren't you the cooking guy? I have a healing potion. Ooh, I have mana potions. Should put this all here. I do have food. Have you figured out how to not die? Oh, don't kill him yet. Stop DPS.
Oh, I can't stop. You better be
Yeah,
fast.
there you go. I'm a god gamer.
Don't touch what you can't afford. Never felt safe.
How come they get an instacast Fire Nova? Do shamans get an instacast Fire Nova? I don't think they do.
Anybody gets an instant cast Fire Nova.
I mean, shouldn't they? I see one. I hope you get Fire Nova. This one's panning toward us. We've done it. Why is it turning over there?
Now it's just surveyors floor to ceiling.
I don't think there's any ceilings here.
Look at this. Look at all these surveyors.
How did this guy get pulled?
Oh, he was right next to you. You're right into him.
I disagree. Where does this even turn in?
Guessing this book. Is this gonna be that infernal thing?
I don't know. What are we supposed to do?
Destroy these crystals. Oh,
What's the name of the quest? Oh, just head of the guy. Oh, it looks like we're killing a magus. Oh yeah, this guy. Oh, get Frost Nova. He's standing on the book. We're probably done for tonight, right?
I mean, I figured we'd go to Tanaris. I don't know if we're gonna do that quest. We might as well since we have a hearth. We'll go to the Tanaris quest, then we'll hearth, and then we'll be done.
Are we watching a drama?
Well, it's already too late.
I'm dropping this again. Yeah, so if we're not watching a drama tonight, then I guess we have time to do other stuff here. And see, this is the other thing, right? Of why I don't want to do a lot of live content. When you're doing live content, you kind of need to be talking the whole time. And Classic WoW is sort of perfect in a way for that, because there's absolutely zero need to be engaged with the game in any way. You basically just tab out in combat, right? Like, you don't have to do anything. But at the same time, Classic WoW is also fucking terrible for a live streaming game because who fucking cares? None of what you do actually matters. And it's super boring, so it's literally just you talking, and that's it. So yeah. Again, this is not even meant as a proper live stream. This is to test out the videos, test out OBS settings, test out the battery on this camera. We're testing a lot of different things, testing out the audio. We made some adjustments after yesterday's test to the video quality. It should be 1080p now. We're basically just testing stuff, and this is a good avenue to test things because you are stressing the system much more so. Well, I shouldn't say much more so. Because rendering video stresses the system a lot more than this. But I mean,
What do you need?
going through this for 3 hours and seeing how the video quality ends up being, it's gonna be useful. Where are we going? Orgrimmar?
We're going to Tenoris, and then we're going to hearth back to Overmar.
Speak, friend.
Jesus. Look at how expensive this is.
AFK a minute.
Yeah, so I guess on that note, I think we should call it. I mean, we made so much fucking progress today. Weren't we 51 when we started? Were we 51 or 52? I think we were still 51. We made a ton of progress today, which is good. And I'm interested to see how the testing of this went and how the changes we made have affected things, how our new scenes are working. I need to, if we're doing live content at all, we need to have transition stuff there for that, for sure. That kind of makes sense for like a just chatting thing, doesn't it? Although, I mean, what? I don't see why you wouldn't full screen a video game if you're doing that. If you're doing React content, then this is definitely the recorded React content would follow this, I think, especially in terms of fair use. Our portion of the screen should definitely be much bigger. So like if we compare these two things, right, because they're essentially the same thing but with the two camera sources flipped, right? So this one we have larger video slash game. I mean, this is literally just a monitor capture of this monitor. Versus this one, we have the larger face cam. This obviously makes sense from a fair use perspective for using for the React content, because if you ever get challenged on it, your argument is that your face is the primary content is your reactions to things, and if the actual thing you're reacting to is much larger on the screen, I don't think you can argue that. So yeah, this is definitely the recorded version. I think there's an argument to be made in a live setting. I don't know if we would be reacting to video content here. Maybe video content on YouTube. I don't know. I think it probably still makes more sense to be doing it this way. But text content for sure. If you're reading through something, it's got to be on here, because there's no way you can put it on this smaller screen and have it be readable, and no one wants to watch you read something, to be honest. So I don't know how useful this is, but it's there. And then obviously we've got the full cam set up as well. I mean, just looking at this preview screen right now, I'm quite happy with the lighting. And obviously that's down to the camera itself. The previous camera we were using, if we were in these light conditions, it would be a disaster. And part of the reason why we moved everything around here was because we knew that the lighting was a disaster the last time, and put ourselves in a position where we can get a lot of natural light right here, which we couldn't do before. And one of the other issues, I don't think it's in the shot here. No, especially with the microphone blocking it. There is a light over there. It might be in frame, I can't tell. Oh, I guess it would make more sense if I looked over here. It looks like it probably is in frame, but it's blocked by the thing. Hey Google, lights. Yeah, but ooh. What happened? We broke it. It definitely broke up there. Oh, I bet it's because we said, "Hey Google," and that yeah, it's picking up on the phone. Okay, we're gonna have to turn that. We have to turn that off. That's funny. Yeah. Nope. Fuck. Okay. We're gonna have to fix that. That's funny. Woo. Try this again. There we go. And then I have to do this, right? Yeah. Okay, so there's a light source just behind the microphone. Which is a problem. Right? And it was directly behind us before. This like somehow works in a weird way. But it doesn't really work, so yeah, realistically that's not a good light source. But we could never use it in either case. I mean, maybe we could move the camera over here so the shot is more facing this way. Which we definitely couldn't do before because the light was like literally directly behind us. But here we have a light source right in front of us, which we definitely didn't have before. All we had was this mini light here, which really didn't give that much light. We looked at buying like a ring light to put around the camera, but I also didn't like that idea either. Not that I didn't like the idea, I didn't think it was worth it. Okay, let me turn these lights off. It's gonna fuck the camera again. Hey Google, lights out. Oh, it looks like it didn't fuck the camera. Wow, amazing. But with this camera, I actually think the lighting is probably fine. The dark mode capabilities of this camera are much, much better than the previous one we were using. So we actually have a reasonable amount of light on our face here, which we did not have before. We would be basically in the dark with the previous one. So, not good. Obviously, when we're shooting most of our video, we would be using proper lighting. But for the purposes of this, it's actually, I think, fine. I think this is totally reasonable amount of light. Okay, let's get back to this.
Now what?
This guy's level 40 and he doesn't have a mount.
What a noob. Oh, hey, this is pirate stuff. You love pirate stuff. At least I think it's pirate stuff.
It's near the pirates, but I think it's water elemental stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy with the lighting. I was worried about the lighting, especially at night. I think we have a reasonable amount of light here. And we can add more, but I actually felt like when we added more, it was too much. Especially the fullest setting. That was definitely too much. Maybe we
I
can
assume this quest is
adjust.
going to go back to Felwood.
Probably. But I mean, we'll be going back up there when we have to do Winter Spring anyway, right? Yeah, maybe we can adjust some settings in there if we're doing night shoots and we actually want proper lighting. Because it was definitely too bright. So maybe there's some work to be done there, but yeah, I'm quite happy. This has been very successful, and I think you could have definitely said with the previous camera as well that even during the day and during day shoots, it was too dark if you didn't have lighting. That's one of the reasons why we even bought this other light in the first place. Was that it felt too dark even during the day. We felt like we needed another light source, and the one behind us was not, you couldn't use it because it was in the shot. So we got this light source, this mini light source. Now we have this other light source right here, which is extremely helpful. I mean, there's some challenges there still, but I mean, this is much better. And we're a much better place in our setup here versus what we had previously. I just want to double check the camera. I'm pretty low. If it goes into, that's actually a good test that we'll see, because it's going to get there very soon. What happens when we get to low battery mode? What does that do? The problem with this thing, there it goes. Looks like it's still going. Where are we actually going?
Here.
Is this inside?
It's past the pirates.
It's not even pirate stuff?
I said it wasn't pirate stuff. It's just near pirate stuff.
What's with this rock formation? Why is he friendly?
He's gonna make a totem for us to fight a blaze guy.
Just Blaze?
Twice.
How many times?
Twice.
Oh, wait, what? That's ridiculous.
It turns in at Ngoro.
Oh, so we're going to Angoro.
I need a target.
Do I have to do anything during this, or does it happen automatically?
This elemental thing?
Yeah.
They'll just start attacking us. He's a mad boy.
Oh, you get it as soon as he attacks? That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the camera looks like it's still working. The only thing that shut it off was the Google thing, which obviously we need to fix.
It might be hard to get out of here. I don't know if you can get past the gate fence thing.
Just go around, Forehead.
Yeah, that's harder. We have to do ZF for my Voodoo Mask transmog. Like, of all the things that you're like insane about in this game, not wanting to do dungeons is number one. It's the only good thing about Classic. This whole experience would have been so much easier if we had just done every dungeon once and got all the quests done.
We definitely shouldn't have done every dungeon once. Like,
Well, the
there's
ones that have,
no
like, 4 or
reason
5
we should have done Gnomeregan, for instance.
I'm just talking about like the ones that had like 4 or 5 quests in them.
That's my chest.
That's what she said.
Excuse me. We should basically call it, right? Oh, let me figure this shit out.
Raw. For the whole.
Here's a tweet from Asmongold. Can I put this on here? This is exactly what this is for, right? I'm just gonna say it. The BC service prices are fucking ridiculous. Absolutely disgraceful. So, he's talking about the prices for the copy, what are they calling it? The cloning service to play both on Classic and on TBC ROMs with the same character. And he's also talking about the boost and the deluxe edition. I don't have a problem with the deluxe edition being $70. I think it's fine.
You tricked me again.
I went the right way. I think that's in line with other deluxe editions. I think people who thought it was going to be less than that are crazy. It comes with a boost, which is $40 on its own. It comes with a fucking pay-to-win ass mount. And 30 days of game time. There's a lot in there, you know?
Good day to you. Be seeing you.
That's probably controversial. I mean, it's a lot still. It's definitely a lot. But like, what did you expect? That's what the price was going to be. Come on. And no one thought they were going to sell the deluxe edition for like $40. Anyone who thought that was insane. At the end of the day, we're talking about Activision, and Activision is going to get theirs. $35 for the clone seems crazy. That's insane. I don't know why anyone would pay that. I don't, to be honest, I don't know why anyone would want to stay in Classic. I mean, I'm being a little bit disingenuous.
Off and away.
Obviously,
This is 56 Elite. You think we can do it?
yeah, it's the guy at the top, right?
Hopefully this wand will make it easier.
It's a fire elemental, so I don't think it will.
No, I mean the quest item.
What's the quest item?
It's a wand that dispels them or something. I don't know.
Do you have your backup wand?
I always have my backup wand.
I don't think I do. I think I sold it.
I have backup wands 2 deep at all times.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this, and then I didn't think about it when I bought this one. So here we are. Yeah, fuck. Oh well. Where am I going? Yeah, I think... I'm not
Oh, we still
surprised
have Fort.
by the boost price or by the price of the deluxe edition. I'm not surprised at all. And I think the deluxe edition is gonna sell really well. I think the boost is going to sell really well. I think that the cloning thing's insane. Do you think we can run up, or should we kill stuff? Honestly, I don't have my dude, so...
Let's see what happens.
I'll just aggro everything, and then you can res me. That's the big brain.
I think at this point they're gonna de-aggro. I think we're probably fine.
Yeah, so... cloning's crazy. The other stuff,
Now what?
I think it would have been crazy to expect anything different.
Are they immune?
They are.
Shadow Bolt.
Oh, I mean, I can like drain life or whatever. hit for 588.
Did you use the thing?
I think so. It's on cooldown. I'm fucking dead. This is... I don't... we need to read this. We need to read this quest. You trying to fight him?
Can you just kick me off the mountain? I might be dead.
Just levitate.
Every time I try to use this thing, it equips it in my weapon slot.
So you have to equip it first and then use it on him. We should also run into the back of his cave. I need to kill one of these so that I can get my pet back. Also, should I get a Voidwalker?
I guess. Yeah. So do you have the thing equipped?
I do. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's been removed. Oh, he's dying super fucking fast. I don't know if you can heal him.
Is the thing back on him?
It's back off.
I'm basically out of mana.
Same. I got a fear though. We should be okay. Alright, he's gonna die. Easy.
What is that? What did you just get?
That's the chest in the back. So what were we talking about? Yeah, I think expecting the prices to be anything other than what they were. If you had asked me prior to this announcement what the price of those services would be, I would have probably said that those would be the prices. And look at how much a boost costs in retail. And it's probably even more valuable in TBC than it is in retail, because fucking retail leveling takes 10 fucking minutes. You add the game time, you add all the cosmetic stuff. I don't think it's surprising that it's $70. I will repeat, the cloning thing being $35 is unbelievable. I don't think it's worth that. This is the first character that I'm getting to max level on Classic, so I'm not as invested in Classic WoW as I am in TBC. I think TBC is a vastly superior game in a lot of ways. And despite the microtransaction stuff eking into the game, I'm confident in the product. I guess I should put my staff back on.
Very well then.
So, where's the trinket? The trinket's actually pretty useful. Oh, I had stuff for you.
I have stuff for you as well.
Here's someone named Sneak A. Do you think it's Deb?
Yes.
She won't recognize us with these names. What else? You have more? Trying to see what's getting kept and what's getting sold here. So now we go to this guy.
Greetings.
Oh, I didn't see that there. I think I need those, right? Just carrying around this dude's head. Makes perfect sense. Okay. And we're at 11%. I mean, we're basically done. We're gonna call the stream. Thanks for tuning in on this test. Again, I mean, this is not gonna be a normal content. This is very much a let's test some system stuff. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who stopped by. And yeah, I'm gonna go and take care of some of this stuff. I should really just drop all that fucking shit. I should really just sell that. Yeah, and we'll see how the video actually came out. So